Okay,
All right.
we're live. All right, welcome to the Pubcast. Hi, everybody. I am John Hess. Oops, put the wrong button there. I am John Hess. I'm looking at you, and I gotta go turn off the audio on this thing.
Turn off the audio on the.
All right, Joe, talk for a little bit.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? We are, as always, prepared yet somehow unprepared. It is great. We are really, we're really winning it. And also, for that comment I had said, we will sing, dance, and I was going to say possibly talk about Star Wars, not poo. But I'm using this to talk to you guys, and I'm not a big fan of iPods. Anyway, how are you guys doing? John will be back here momentarily. He's just muting some extra sound. You have some questions. We will be doing answering questions. That is 90% of what we do here, and the other 10% is talk about movies. We've seen a lot of movies since April's Pubcast, and John still has not come back yet, so I have to fill in more airtime. Let's all love each other. How are you doing? Welcome.
I'm back. All right. So
There
I
we
don't know
go.
why, for some reason, our audio is going through the speakers, so I just turned the speakers down.
There you go. Yeah,
So we won't be able to hear too much of the audio when we watch the video, but that's okay. We can actually see what's going on. So hi, everybody. How are you all doing? It's been a while since we've been back. Been really, really busy doing other stuff, but we're coming back and doing more Filmmaker IQ stuff.
Yep.
First of all, we want to thank you guys on Patreon.
Yes,
Let's get that Patreon logo there. Patreon, we crossed our $100 mark.
Yep.
So for that, we made a promise that I would wear the Al's Toy Barn costume, and I would thank each of our members. You can go see the video, but I want to show you guys the video right now. Here we go. Hi, Al from Al. I would wear the Al Toy Barn costume if we got to $100 a month on Patreon, and here I am. And I want to shout out to all our great sponsors, our great patrons on Patreon. All right, so here we go. I apologize up front because you know me and names, I'm going to mispronounce. So here we go. Thanks to Kyle Williams, Natty Shaw, Andrew, Justin Backel, Michael Daniel Mortensen, Marcus Wojak, Devin Black, Charles Buckley, Hart Poole, Joel Heath, Chad Turner, Laszlo Santha, Izzy Sanchez, David Simmons, Fu, Ollie Harrison, Evelyn DeWert, Simply Sam, Edmund Wu, WHJMS, Pietro Gagliardi, Paul Groot, Fools Aaron's Film, Seth Glickman, Benoit Doidick, GF Media Entertainment, Will de Rouse, Cedric Houtville, Matthias Genelt, Sifsty, Caleb Young, Johannes Roussel, Mindful Peace Journey, Josh Fry, Maggie Brown, Oivid Well, Kim Kim, X-Ray M, Spencer Hopkins, Lawrence Jarvik, Marcel Blanc, Barry Wilson, Derek Meisenhelder, Charles Babbage, Carl A, SoundDriveShow.tv, Niles Gibson, Stuart M, and Too Much Tech. Again, I apologize if I screwed up any of your names. You know how it is with me and names, but we really do appreciate everything you guys do to help us at Patreon. Really, again, really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time at FilmmakerIQ.com. Bye, 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 bye. Okay, there you go. That was a long list night, and just a little bit of background for you guys. I signed this switch to the master audio instead of our audio, so we couldn't be silent. That's
we
why.
had to be quiet.
If I should have just switched it to our audio. Anyhow, that is a long list, but we could always make it longer. And Joe, you have some ideas for the next milestone?
What was it? The
I don't
Vegas
know.
one?
I'm thinking we're thinking the pie fight.
Oh, the pie fight, right?
Yeah.
The pie fight, yeah. So what we're debating is a good, the bad, the ugly kind of pie fight, three-way standoff. Using
Now, yeah, we're just talking about this still. So we're not having submitted it yet, but we're thinking pie fight.
Yeah.
with like dollar amounts in it.
Yeah, so bigger,
and we'll just have a big old
the dollar
pie.
amount, you guys, the bigger we get hit with pies, basically.
I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we haven't told Tim that he's going to be basically the guy that gets everything.
If all possible, we're going to not be the ones hit with the pies, and we're just going to hit Tim with the pies.
That's all he's going to do. He's hit with pies.
Also, welcome from the Ukraine.
Yes, welcome everybody.
Thank you for coming and hanging out with us on your.
So there's the Patreon. So go ahead, guys. If every little bit helps, and we are, we're just trying to keep our studio going and keep producing content you guys like. So Patreon's definitely. If you want to check out other things, we have Audible. You can check out our audible.com, audibletrial.com/filmmakeriq.com or filmmakeriq.com. I believe that's right. Check that one out.
Check out the link at the bottom. Basically.
And of course, there's the website, filmmakeriq.com.
And speaking of filmmakeriq.com, we are going to be bringing the merch to the Filmmaker IQ website, and we're going to be doing a couple of special things for those that might reach the top of the leaderboards.
Yes, I don't know if I should talk about this yet, but there might be a prize for the winner of this month's leaderboard contest in terms of merch. But we will working on that this month.
Oh, goody. Lisa
happened here.
A pie at us.
Hi, Lisa.
Thanks, babe. I appreciate that.
Hi, Lisa. All right, so let's get to it. Any questions you guys have? So, you want to talk? You want to hang out?
The funny part is
when are you guys going to ask us questions?
Ray Nash. I'm hoping I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
He said, "What do you look for when you view a movie for the second time?"
That's a great question.
You want to take on that? What it is, if it's Marvel, I'm looking for Easter eggs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of what you kind of look for in a Marvel movie is the Easter eggs, the things that you didn't perhaps catch the first time. In like sci-fi stuff, I tend to look for alien, like things that you don't normally see in a sci-fi movie, things that maybe I would have missed the first time through because I was more compelled by the story. Or honestly, a lot of the time in the second ones, I just kind of enjoy seeing the characters blocking or even choices and how they show emotions.
Right.
Like that. I think that's
for me, it's like there's the experience of watching the movie for the first time is always different because you don't know where the story is headed. So you've got that element of surprise. So you get rid of the element of surprise. Now you're looking at like the actual execution, and you're looking at things like story construction. Where are we in the story? I mean, it depends also if you're watching it just for fun or you're watching it to analyze and study it. To analyze and study, you probably have to watch about 2 or 3 times to get it. But we're actually going to do the next video coming out is going to be a story analysis actually. So you'll get to see. I've seen that movie, which is Coco. I'll break it. I've probably seen it about 10 times now. So lots of viewing. Other questions?
Brandon, welcome.
Welcome, Brandon.
Let's see. What is your favorite
P.T. Anderson movie? Yeah, baby. Do you have one, Joe, or on the spot? Go.
You go first.
All right.
I think I know which one I'm gonna go with. But.
You know what? That There Will Be Blood is probably one of the best, but my personal favorite, and I haven't seen it for a long time, is Punch Drunk Love. Yeah, I think that's just such a sweet movie, and it's so cool.
I kind of figured you were gonna say it because I was like Punch Drunk. Yeah. I
mean, the thing is, like, There Will Be Blood is so well done. So between those two, you can't go wrong. All right, what else we got here?
All right. I did say, I think I said, welcome, Brandon. Thanks for making
Hey, Brandon,
this
one.
Yep. This weekend is the New Zealand 48-hour film competition. We make in 48 hours. With such a short turnaround, what do you think is the most important thing to remember in a short?
Do you have an hour for this? Because we got a lot to talk about.
We were actually debating this to create for you guys, kind of a false or fake 48-hour film festival thing based on some of our experiences. So it wouldn't actually be a 48-hour film festival like that we were doing, but we are recreating our own versions of what happened in 48-hour film festivals of the past. I would say things to remember: don't go into it super serious because you will burn out, people will get angry, and it is actually a way to lose friendships if you're going in with your friends. Some sometimes people deal with stress in a really not good way, and if we decide to go this route, you'll see kind of some experiences we had, and yeah, it didn't turn out as well as we hoped. So I would say enjoy it, make the best film you can in 48 hours, and don't put too much emphasis on this, because you're gonna go out and later on and do something even better and not have a time limit. This is just one of those things that if you go in there super serious, you might come out not having fun. But if you go in there with the thought of enjoying it and hanging with friends for 48 hours, it can be a great experience. So
yeah, I'll just piggyback on what Joe's saying. You can't look at it as a career move. Do not treat the film 48 Hour as a career move, because it's not a career move. It is a hobby thing that hobbyists do. I'm sorry. Yes, professionals do occasionally do it, but it is a hobby. They do it as a hobby. If you want to make good films, you have to spend more than 48 hours. In newsflash, you need to spend more than, like 8 hours to writing the script. You really do. So have fun. That's the whole point of the 48, is have fun, and don't, like as Joe said, don't take it so seriously. And number two, after that one point, have fun. Make sure you get some sleep.
Yeah.
Like seriously, there's no point in in doing it full straight 40 hours. You're gonna kill yourself, and you're gonna suck, and you're gonna do dangerous things.
And you're gonna have heat stroke depending on where you are.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure I got heat stroke and then passed out on the couch after pretending to be Jesus.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember like the end night. I think you stayed up editing, and I.
Well, no, I passed out after a little bit.
Yeah. I just remember waking up in the morning going like, holy crap, what happened?
Yeah, Joe played Jesus, and he had this spoon, and it was a holy spoon. The
holy spoon.
And anything it touches tastes delicious.
Yeah.
That was the prop, a spoon.
It was a wooden spoon.
So, but we didn't win the prop because there was politics involved.
Yep.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know why. It doesn't matter. Those awards don't matter. Don't care about the awards. They're stupid. Anyhow.
Yeah. Somewhere out there,
have fun.
Me dancing with a red and gold sash.
That's pretty cool.
With a spoon and a bowl. It was very good. Somewhere out there. Favorite really B movie, something obscure, cheap, and silly, but with soul and stuff.
Wow, you gotta make a think about that one. Go for it.
Bubba Hotep. It was actually a Bruce Campbell movie where he is Elvis in a retirement home, and there's a mummy that's like taking people.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most obscure. I mean, it's not obscure because anyone who's a Bruce Campbell fan probably enjoyed it, but it was a B movie, and it was really enjoyable and well done. So basically, what happens is, as I said, Elvis is in a retirement home. He switched places with this lookalike to pretend to be him, so he could get out of the limelight. And it was only supposed to be for like a week or 2 weeks or something, but then that guy croaked out. Yeah. Like Elvis, so he was unable to prove that he was Elvis or something. It was enjoyable.
Gosh, I can't remember a B movie that.
Their favorite B movie is the Turkish Star Wars.
Turkish Star Wars.
Well, that was entertaining, definitely.
I can't watch that film. It's too bizarre for me. I can't even wrap my brain around it. Yeah, Star Crash was pretty bad, but that doesn't have any soul. I don't know. I can tell you my favorite like small budget movies, but they're not B movies necessarily.
How do you feel when you discover symbolism all by yourself?
Ooh.
I think, for me, I feel that symbolism in a movie kind of is what you take away. I mean, sometimes you catch on to what the person is trying to say, but you can. Because I've talked about it, and sometimes when me and you were having conversations about a movie, there's a different takeaway. We both had a different takeaway from it.
Yeah,
and I think that's the great thing about movies.
Well, symbolism, like like you can get real clever with symbolism, and you can be like some video essayists who go a little overboard and try to say, well, the color green symbolizes eternity and fragility in the movie. I'm doing a horrible accent of that one guy, one director, but I see symbolism as like, oh, that's cool. I like having more in-depth knowledge of a movie. Like in our review of Coco, I will talk a little bit about symbolism, but it's not like this symbolizes this thing. This symbolizes. It doesn't really work. Art doesn't really work that way. Like sometimes, yeah, it could mean something, but it's all part of understanding the material. Best I can give you on that answer.
Beyond My Thoughts says, what are your views on movie remakes? And what are some of your
favorites?
Oh,
yeah, there you go. That's always a good one. We always answer that question.
That one always kind of tends to find its way in here.
Yeah.
I just found out they're making a new Predator remake.
Are they doing Predator?
They're doing a Predator remake. And I found out because Lisa actually... I had seen a poster for it, but it didn't really click because it's like lightning, but it looks like the Predator.
Yeah,
that's their poster.
And Steven Spielberg's doing a new West Side Story.
Yeah.
So there's that. What's your favorite one?
I'm really trying to think of what remake kind of sticks out lately. I mean,
there's the classics you can always go to, like Scarface. Is a remake. That's a good remake. What else are there? Chat, what are your guys' favorite? You guys
would you consider Jurassic World a remake?
No, that's a soft reboot.
A reboot, yeah.
No, I wouldn't say Jurassic World is better than Jurassic Park.
No, I wouldn't.
No one in the right mind would say that.
Well, just like
Jurassic World is a vehicle for more Jurassic Worlds to be made.
Yeah.
But it's not like a replacement of the original.
And then there's a soft reboot of Ocean's 8.
Yeah, the Ocean's 11 was a reboot of the original Ocean.
I would say it would
be better.
Ocean's 11.
Yeah, it was a good movie too.
One.
I think. There's lots. So our opinion of remakes and reboots is they happen all the time, and you go with it. You don't have, if you don't like it, don't see it. That's kind of our philosophy here at filmmakeriq.com.
Cats or dogs?
Cats or dogs?
For me, anyway.
I would like cats. However, I am allergic to cats, so therefore I offer rabbits.
You offer rabbits
as an exception, because rabbits are quiet. Their poops are small. They don't smell. They're not wet, and they're not roly poly. Or they're roly poly. You just scoop them up and you throw them away, and they don't really do anything other than be cute and soft and chew through your wires. No, any other?
The new Predator is written by the guy who played Hawkins. You know, the guy who had those bad jokes about his girlfriend.
Oh, okay. I guess in the movie.
In the original Predator?
Hey, Kyle Williams. Hi, Kyle.
Let's see. Hey, yeah.
It's our Patreon, our big Patreon sponsor there.
Thoughts on feature films shot on mobile phones, such as Tangerine or...
All right, let me take this one.
Yeah, go for it.
So the whole... All right, so I haven't seen either one either, but the whole thing with this iPhone business needs to... Tangerine had to be made that way because the guy didn't have a lot of money to work with. He was doing a very extremely, you would call it risque. If you could call it risque. It's not really, but it's like no studio's going to back that project.
Yeah.
So he was trying to do it. The iPhone thing, however, is a gimmick. It really is. Like, there's no reason why he couldn't have shot it with a DSLR. So the opposite should say, well, people kind of respond to a DSLR differently. They see an iPhone, they don't care. So that's why you got. So anyhow, my whole thought about the iPhone filmmaking thing is it is a gimmicky thing, and it doesn't impress anybody in the industry as far as I'm concerned. It impresses people that are outside the industry, and I've done a lot of like article collections over the years, and I am so over the whole like we shot this on an iPhone. Yay. Doesn't matter. Do what you can, shoot the best way you can, and don't try to force yourself into a corner. There's reasons why he did it that way, but for other filmmakers, I would not recommend it. Would not recommend it at all.
Hey there, Dan. How you doing? All right. Thoughts on? Oh wait, we covered that one. Jurassic Park is better.
Jurassic Park is definitely better. Have you seen any movies from Scandinavia?
Have you seen any good movies from Scandinavia?
Have you seen the Rare Exports? Is that from Scandinavia? Oh, we got a conking. There's a car outside.
Someone outside.
Rare Exports from the movie about Santa Claus, where they capture the Santa Claus and they like box him in the thing. And Santa Claus is actually a vicious killer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's kind of an interesting movie.
That is actually.
So, there's also what's that? Reptilicus. Although
wait.
you guys aren't too proud of that one.
Oh yeah, what was the one that was made fun of on Mystery Science Theater 3000, the TV show?
I know you don't want to be represented.
I did watch that one.
I don't think you want to be represented by Reptilicus.
That's true.
So anyhow.
Oh, Rare Exports is from Finland.
Finland, well, that's pretty close, right?
And welcome there.
Hey, Masters of the Universe. Let's go back here.
Would you agree the best shot in MCU was the 360 shot in the Avengers? If not, which one? So that was the one.
Yeah, from the Avengers movie.
The original one.
That's a good shot from the Avengers.
It was definitely a good shot.
Is it the best shot of all the MCU?
I don't know. Like, that is really hard. There's so many movies.
Yeah, I haven't seen all the movies. I've never seen any of the MCU movies twice, though. I've seen them all, most of them all once, but not twice.
Although sit here thinking,
well, you know, they did Joss Whedon did do another one of those like show the entire team shot in Avengers 2 when they're taking out that fort, the Russian fort.
Oh yeah.
The Russian base. So, you know, you're flying through all that. I don't know. Sure.
Civil War actually had a good one, like in the airport.
The airport shot?
Like the airport shot of both, you know, you got Captain America's side and Iron Man's side, and just as they're running running towards each other. I think that would probably be my favorite shot.
Yeah.
Just because, one, it's a fight scene, and two, it's done so well as they clash together. It kind of reminds me of like those old, you know, like armies kind of coming together in a huge battle, even though it's only like, what, 12 people.
Mm-hmm.
Airport was good, yeah. Do you think global shutters rather than rolling shutters should be used in films?
All right, so answer that question. You know, there's a lot of films out there that use rolling shutter. So, I mean, you go out there and you watch, and even film itself, like the actual film has rolling shutter. So, generally, rolling shutter is not as bad as people make it out to be. Again, it's all a matter of execution. If you're whipping your camera around like crazy and you're seeing all this slantedness, then if that's what you want, then you did it right. If that's not what you want, then you obviously need to use a global shutter or something like that. So it just all depends on what you want to use. Like I said, even film cameras have rolling shutters. So that's that regarding rolling shutter.
Yep. All right. Well,
we don't have any questions.
While we take a break from questions, did you want to talk about the MCU universe, Infinity War? And also, if you guys out there haven't seen it,
yeah, give a show of hands. Anybody? I mean, how many people out there have seen the Infinity Wars? We'll wait for people to catch up. Well, let's answer that one question. Yeah. Let's answer that one question. All right, what video editing software? We use all Adobe stuff. So I use Adobe Premiere to cut video, Adobe After Effects to create the graphics, Photoshop, Illustrator to create all the graphics for that stuff, and then Audition to fix the audio. Do a lot of audio work with Audition. What else do we use from the Adobe collection? InDesign, if I do any paper stuff.
Yeah.
I am a true dyed-in-the-wool Adobe fan. I will not switch over to Resolve. I don't care what anybody wants to say. Adobe works just fine for me. Although that said, I know a lot of people are having trouble with Adobe. So,
Raynash, we for researching online is what Wikipedia.
I need to research.
Books.
Yeah,
depending. It just really depends on what the
websites
topic is.
Let me just add one more thing. Wikipedia is not as bad as people make it out to be, because people always say, "Well, we use Wikipedia. That's not a reliable source." It usually is, because there's a lot of pedantic people on Wikipedia that will change something if it's not correct.
Yeah.
So it is actually a pretty good source, and then always follow the little sources at the very bottom. That's how you really get the better information.
Brandon, yes, I play Fortnite. I actually stream Fortnite on Twitch, and so I was actually playing that game mode on Twitch last night.
Tell me your username, Joe.
It's the Wrongcast.
The Wrongcast.
I also have a YouTube channel that I'm just starting out, and actually we'll be putting out a Fortnite review, because I do a lot more of the video game aspect of things, of the creative way, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, so the question was like, what software we're using to do this particular shot right here. So we're using vMix for that. That's not Adobe, sorry. But we have 3 cameras going. We have vMix over there on a computer, and it's got 3 Blackmagic input cards. We're running into there. vMix is mixing all the video. we're doing a desktop capture, and that's how you see the chat there on that side right there. And that's how we're doing vMix, and we got audio through the cameras this time, which I'm hopefully is no complaints yet about how horrible the audio is yet. Yep. So hopefully we got that good. All right, Joe.
And also, thank you, Marcelo, for coming and hanging out with us from Costa
Absolutely.
Rica. So thank you. Okay, so let's see. Do you think amateur filmmakers worry too much about film grain in dark shots? I've seen lots of grain in professional work.
Yes.
Yeah. Definitely.
So I was watching a movie. I was watching a couple older movies. Watching the African Queen. And I was watching Pennies from Heaven. And I saw a lot of film grain in that. So there's a lot of grain in those movies. I'm one of those guys. I'm not so crazy. I'm not one of those grain crazy guys. So I don't particularly like it. I don't dislike it either. But what you gotta be careful with the dark shots is that it becomes really annoying. If all you see is black and a lot of grain, then it becomes annoying. But there are software solutions out there that can help eliminate that. The one I use is called Neat Video. It's kind of expensive, but it's really, really powerful. Anyhow.
All right. What are your movie pet peeves?
Joe's got some.
Well, there's a lot. I'll let you go first.
You want me to go first? All right.
Yeah, because I mean, I could go on this for a little bit, but
one of my pet peeves is taking something in a story that you prime the audience. So the best way I can give you is an example. All right, it's a movie Saw. That's why I always go to that movie Saw. So they get the point where the girl they take the guy's wife and they kidnap her and they torture her. They just drive her crazy, right? And she's like so. But then they flip the switches around and they give her a gun, and she's got the gun pointed at the killer's head, and she doesn't pull the trigger. It's like, no. After all of that, like you've primed me so much to hate this captor of hers that I want him just to be dead, and you don't allow me to have that because why? Because of your story. Yep. Because your plot needs him to survive. That pisses me off. That's one of my pet peeves. You have one, Joe, while I was talking?
Okay, so, and actually kind of going back to Saw again, the most annoying one is definitely the guy on the ground, where it's like, oh, we didn't notice this guy not breathing or this other stuff. It's like, I'm sorry, if you're in a state of panic, you may be able to get away with this, but you're going to tell me that guy didn't move at all? Like, he somehow perfected the way of, I'm not going to shift or move or do any of this stuff. So the point of it is the unnecessary jump scare in a way, because all of a sudden he's like, I was here all along. It's like, no, that's Deus Ex Machina. It's just like, you used a person who there was no movement so that at the end you could pull out this guy. And I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I could jump from Star Wars to even stuff in Infinity War. Because I can nitpick the hell out of shit, and I'm just not going to. But there are a lot of little pet peeves that you see, and some of them are needed to progress the story, just like how John was saying. It's like, oh, she needs to not shoot him so that we might have a second movie or whatever it may be. And it's like, no, if she's just been tortured and treated like that, she's gonna shoot him. So just
yeah,
it's
that is basically, it is Deus Ex Machina, right? Yeah. It's like, well, she didn't shoot him because why? Just even a sheer panic, she would have. Anyway, those are a couple pet peeves. We can spend all day trying to think of ones.
What do I do? I don't have any actors, and I want to make a short.
Oh, good.
Sock puppets. No, it sounds terrible. Cheesy. You get into animation.
I don't want to be facetious. Well, I don't want to be facetious, but yeah, like you want to learn you want to experiment with films. Get some like stuffed animals.
Yeah.
And make a movie.
Did you ever see Potter Puppets?
Potter puppets.
Yeah, there's like these like literally it's like a little thing, has like the Harry Potter head
and like
little hands. And it's quite literally he just boxed it like the old little shadow boxes and did like little finger puppets and stuff. So I mean, you can find a way if you really want to make something.
Well, a really good challenge is to I had a idea for a lab, but we don't do labs anymore so much because no one's doing them. But a lab where we would ask you to go out and make a movie with no human faces. Yeah. Make a movie that tells a story, but no human face in it. And it's a good challenge. So if you don't have any actor friends, those kind of movies are a good way to practice. Uh-oh.
Lisa put his biggest pet peeve in movies is characters' bad decision making.
Pretty much.
Which is actually why I didn't like Game of Thrones in the first season.
No.
But then I you know, obviously I enjoy it. Hold
on, see.
But
spoiler alert.
Yeah. Well, so I'm sitting there and we're going through this thing. It's like, oh, that's another terrible decision. Like,
which decision though?
Okay, so I forget which one it was.
Is it involving Ned?
Yeah, it is involving Ned.
Well,
all of his decisions are bad.
Yeah, but Ned, in defense of Ned is he plays everything honestly and straight. He thinks that, oh, this letter from the king is going to absolve me is going to make me king. And they're like, everyone's like, yeah, no.
Well, it's like the whole thing where he's just like, oh, I'm going to go and be like super like Boy Scout and go tell Cersei that exactly what's going to happen so that she is like, dude, if she's done all this shit up to this point, you think somehow magically telling her is going to make her not be like
but the thing is,
shitty person?
That's Ned. That's the problem. That's why he get killed in the first season.
I mean, I kind of after that actually felt like a lot of the decisions were more like stealthily made. Like they weighed both sides, but I felt like everything Ned did was like 100% dumbass.
Yeah.
And like, I guess, you're like,
it's true.
His character.
It's his character.
Kind of like that knight that does everything right and supposed to win, but he doesn't.
Right.
And like, I get that, but bad decision making in movies sometimes, like where it's like, okay, even that one guy who's like, I've made 7 decisions and all 7 of those were really bad. And so instead, but I'm going to still go with my gut instinct, which has just failed me 7 times before, and keep going with it. It's just like, at that point, you're like, I need counseling. Like, I need someone who's not me to make some decisions.
Well, I mean, that's why he's dead within like, what, 5 or 6 episodes. Yeah. I mean, it goes to show you how treacherous this world is.
Yeah.
So I think that bad decision making is part of the character on that one.
Lisa out there also we have huge Game of Thrones debates about stuff because
is that what sparked this?
Actually, that's what started this because but yeah, so that's why she knows that pet peeve. I sit there a lot. Actually, Game of Thrones is probably one of my favorite shows now. It definitely has rated high, but yeah.
I like this question. Is it healthy to have a movie that you can find emotional comfort in? Mine is Ratatouille. Sorry for the existential type question. Is it healthy? What's wrong with that?
Definitely. I have sometimes I have movies that I watch specifically when I'm sick, and I'll just that's my kind of like go-to. Which oddly, actually, I don't think it's a movie. It's a TV show. It's Firefly. I'll watch that when I'm sick because it's like, I don't know. It just allows you to kind of zone out and feel comforted.
I have to watch. I guess I started watching Arrested Development, so maybe that's another show But Coco is a movie like for you think Ratatouille for you it's Ratatouille. I think for me Coco is becoming that movie. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
movies are kind of therapeutic in that sense that they are I would say a religious experience.
It was oddly Pagemaster.
Pagemaster.
Yeah, it's the one with Macaulay Culkin. It's like part cartoon. Like he goes into the library and then it has Christopher Lloyd in it. He's the librarian.
Librarian?
Yeah, and it gets sucked into a book. It has Whoopi Goldberg in it. And there's like a lot of big voice actors, but that was when I was a kid. Like,
I don't remember that movie at all. No, I don't remember that movie at all. Oh, let's see. What else we got?
There was, maybe still is, law in Russia about beer commercials on TV. You can't show people and characters on screen that lead to some ingenious moves. Oh, so they have to avoid showing people or characters drinking on. Oh, that's interesting.
So we have that law basically here in commercial. Like in a commercial, you can't see someone drinking beer or wine. You can see them like holding the glass, but they can't take a sip of it. So I remember in local TV when we did commercials for like restaurants, I used to have to, like not show people drinking beer. So that is a kind of a regulation here too. It's kind of ingenious though, or trying to figure out ways to go around it. Now in TV shows themselves, you can show people drinking, but not the commercials. So, okay, well let's go Ender Nation.
Why can I?
Yeah, I don't know what. Trying to scroll up or down.
No, I was trying to prove it.
Anyhow, I see one from Ender Nation. I'll just read off. how are some ways you can break the 180-degree rule, and how does this affect the movie?
Yeah.
I love this question. I wanted to do a full-on exploration video on this subject matter, ways to break the 180 rule. You can do that either just do that flat out, just break it. You can also do that by doing a doing a close-up. Like if you're looking at me and you do a close-up of my gun holster, like say in The Good, Bad, and Ugly, and then you can break the 180-degree rule because there's no longer that connecting tissue, that connecting shot. Watch The Good, Bad, and Ugly. Watch the scene, the final Mexican showdown, and they break the 180-degree rule all the time there. That's another example of how to do it.
Hans, I had to purge you. Please be cool.
Oh, is he going?
It was a little bit of...
I think he was saying stuff of getting a little political there.
Get a little political. This is all about movies.
We have fun here. Everyone's invited. Everyone's invited.
We if you got a question about a movie, like, hey, say what movie was Trump in, and you say Home Alone 2, you'd be like, all right, it wasn't really the greatest movie, but he was there.
But everyone said he was the best.
He was the best.
He was the best at playing that character.
Yep.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Macaulay Culkin would have been in serious trouble without.
So Jojo Grow says restrictions lead to creativity. You know, that's a quote from Orson Welles.
Yeah.
Creativity is a summation. The lack of restrictions leads to no creativity, something like that. So yeah, it's true. Ip Man 2 or Django Unchained. I have not seen Ip Man 2.
I haven't either.
I've seen Django Unchained, which I enjoyed.
I saw Lawnmower Man 2, which is an entirely different movie.
Oh, there we go. But Django I thought was pretty good. Alfonso Cuarón uses long shots. Can you explain why? Because he likes it. I imagine so.
Some people, there's a really cool kind of ingenuity to making a shot, especially like in Birdman.
Yeah.
Where it's like these long shots that make you feel like you're actually part of this, movie, because it's all done in one really long, really creative shot. And I think there's kind of a niche for it and kind of like a cool feel to it, but it's not something I think everybody has to do. I
for one find that I'm tending to gravitate for long shots in some things that I do. If you see those videos I do on the courses, they're basically long shots. And the reason I do that is because there's less editing involved. So now the long shot can be one of those things where if you want to talk about, like, if a director is really insistent on a long shot, they will just shoot a long shot and shoot nothing else. And that's a way to tell the studio, my way or the highway. You're not editing my film. I'm leaving it as is. That's that's one reason to do a long shot. It's not a very good reason, but it is a reason. But other than that, yeah, it is a style thing. Now, having said that, sometimes it works, sometimes it's just show-offy and it doesn't really accomplish much. So, but it is his style. It is a style of his.
Yeah. If you're using vMix, you can use vMix Social to show only individual comments on screen.
Yeah, well, I figured
you could do that, but
I learned that yesterday, and I figured that I didn't have time to figure it out. Basically, I mean, I saw that you could have that capability, but this works just as well for now. And time is not one of the things we have an abundance of right now.
Right, Nash, feel free to ask as many questions you want.
Yeah, all the questions.
Yeah, the whole idea is we have a fun time conversing with you guys who've been awesome and helped us, get to where we are.
Yeah.
So this is kind of us getting to chat with all of you guys, and getting to.
This is our hangout with you guys. Seriously, I spend like hours and hours here by myself working on these films on Filmmaker IQ. So doing this is a good chance for me to kind of hang out with you guys, hang out with Joe, and just have some fun talking about movies.
Exactly.
That's what we do, right? That's why we're making movies.
Is the mother of invention. That is true.
That is true.
There is a lot of times where we come in with a script and we're like, oh, this would be really great. And then we realize we're missing like 3 or 4 components of how we would do this, and we change it and come up with something even better or even funnier than what we originally wrote. And so it's definitely kind of one of those things of when you don't actually have something, you come up with another way, and sometimes it's better. And we've done that a lot.
Mm-hmm. I like that. Is it possible to shoot a 3 to 5 minute short film in 5 hours? Yes.
Yes.
It is. It depends on how much you plan ahead of time. If you plan really well ahead of time, then you could shoot 3 to 5 minutes. You could do it live. You could shoot it. I'll do a live shot. That's what TV shows do.
Yep.
If you don't plan it very well, then no. But it all depends on what your shot is and what you're trying to do. Like, if you're asking me if you can do a claymation in 3 to 5 hours, no.
Yeah, no. Sharif, thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoy the vids.
Yeah, he gets the time thing. Like we're always on a time crunch. Like I've been working on a bunch of other videos, just trying to keep the money flowing, so keep the studio open, so we can put more stuff out. So
exactly,
I've been like a squirrel trying to gather nuts for the winter, man. Because I know sooner or later, I know there's not gonna be many jobs out there. I'm gonna be spending like money. Anyhow, enough of my sadness.
Okay, we're gonna get back to yours. It's all about we. But you said I have a question for John. Who's better, literally or
a literary movie
literally or movie character?
Batman or Superman? Batman.
You. Anyway, so I'm Superman, obviously.
Oh.
That's why she did it, because I believe Superman's a better character than Batman overall.
Well, now we don't have to worry about wearing the same costume on Halloween.
That's true. So anyway, he said how to make script from some ideas. Any tips?
How to make script
for our scripts. We start off with an outline.
A bloody detailed outline.
A bloody detailed outline. I would show you one, but I don't think we have one at the moment.
It's so bloody detailed that I haven't finished writing it out from the notes that we wrote up on it.
Yeah.
And we spent like 10 pages of notes just to write the outline.
Exactly. So the outline, what we'll do is we know the start, we know the end. How do we get there? So then we'll start talking it out, and as we start talking it out, some stuff gets crossed out, new stuff gets added, and we're not even doing any lines. This is just
we do some lines, but the key lines.
But it's the key lines, like things that are kind of important for that character to say, or to move on the next part, or like lines that we think are just really, really funny. We'll write them underneath those, and then as we go through, once we do it one time, we kind of read it out loud, maybe make small changes, and then we'll do it again. Basically, like we're still, we're working on something bigger that we.
Yeah, we're trying to put together a feature script, but right now, it's a comedy.
It's a comedy.
It's more of like a screwball comedy, if you want to put it that way. But again, the thing that I want that you should probably look into if you haven't seen it is this Matt and Trey Parker video about but and then versus but therefore.
Yeah.
So you don't say thing A happens, then thing B happens, then C thing happens. That's boring, right? So you want to do thing A happens, but thing B happens, therefore thing C happens. So you create what's called, if you're a Marxist, it's a Marxist dialectic. Where you have two opposing forces come together, they create a synthesis, and that synthesis creates a new force, and then another opposing force comes. That's the story you want to create. Anyhow, but that's how you create scripts.
Batman because of Dolan. I get you, Ray Nash. I get you.
More Batman fans.
A lot of Batman fans. I am a Superman fan. I really wish somebody would get Superman right. I feel like the last Superman that was gotten right was actually Christopher Reeve's version, because not only was he nerdy, but you actually saw the complete difference of Superman versus Clark Kent in such a way that you really believed that you wouldn't know the difference between Clark Kent and Superman. And in these, if you look at the new version of Superman, you look and you're like, well, why wouldn't anyone believe that guy is Superman? And you see it a lot in other stuff too nowadays, where Superman really isn't. I mean, he really is just wearing glasses. But Christopher Reeve's version was wearing glasses. He slumped. He was completely nerdy. He stuttered. But then you had Superman, whose hair was slicked and had no glasses. He was confident. He stood tall, and he just dominated the screen as Superman. And so that was why you believed that he was Superman and Clark Kent would never be the same person.
Not to bring up an old point. It's like the old nutty professor with Jerry Lewis.
Yeah.
He'd be like, hey, how you doing? And then Buddy Love would be super suave.
Yeah.
And you can tell they're totally different people. Whereas nowadays, Clark Kent and Superman, dude, it's the same dude.
Yeah, exactly.
But the thing I like about Batman is it works as a serious drama if you want to do like a serious movie, but you can also have fun with it too, like Lego Batman. My favorite is Bat Dad. Go on Facebook, look up Bat Dad.
Bat Dad. Dangerous question: DC or Marvel? Both.
DC or Marvel?
I don't believe in DC or Marvel. I believe in a good story.
Yay!
And a lot of people gave crap to Justice League. It wasn't as bad as people, I feel, made it. I do believe that Flash and Cyborg. I feel like Marvel has has taken a 10-year journey to reach where it is right now.
Exactly, yeah.
And DC is like sprinting and just completely missing the mark of like, hey, we have all these really great characters. Let's slowly
take our
ramp
time
them up to this Justice League.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, DC has the advantage in that Marvel has created this world modern world where we can accept a superhero movie as serious materials, right? So that's good. Now, DC, take your time and go ahead and make a few more Wonder Womans. Wonder Woman was a popular film.
Yeah.
It was not the best movie in the world, but it was a popular film, right? So now make one about Flash. Make one about
exactly. And
and build it up.
As for Superman being gritty, I feel like you don't need that, but you need again a good story. Nobody is making Lex Luthor what he should be, this dark antagonist who thinks he's ridding the world of this alien menace. And so Superman has to actually go okay, I need to stay in my moral fiber. And while Lex Luthor goes I can buy people to throw at him, I can kill, I can do whatever. He's in a sad way this kind of darker human versus this lighter alien. And yes, I know that everybody has a darkness to him, and yeah, he probably has his own conflicts and things that should be shown. But I don't know if it's grittier, because that's what Batman is for. When you get Superman and Batman to that point where they meet, you've got the Dark Knight who's willing to do what it takes, and you have Superman who doesn't want to bend his morals to that he's been kind of taught that humans are supposed to have. So yeah, you reach this kind of antithesis in the Justice League, which should have happened, not him coming back from the dead and then beating the crap out of Superman or Batman and saying, "Do you bleed?" right back to him, which was kind of a little anyway. But that's
Martha.
My mom's name is Martha. Your mom's name is Martha. What does it mean?
George Washington's wife was named Martha.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, that's silly.
But yeah, story characters. How will upcoming filmmakers and others be able to watch?
Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
Wait, do you have one?
No, back at the one before. Just a quick side note, because we're going away from Marvel vs. DC. Later, how can the later Harry Potter films be better? If so, in which way? Could they? I didn't. I lost interest of Harry Potter after about 3. Joe, do you have any opinion on this?
It's a really hard thing to say, because I feel like they did a decently good job, and I think that without having to extend the time, you start to diverge, because by 4, that's where the major divergence between books and movies kind of started to happen. And yeah, it could have maybe been better, but honestly, I think for what it is, it's good.
I think it got really dark and really kind of just the magical fun of it wasn't really there in the movies.
I mean, that's kind of the
and I'll be really honest with you. I read a lot of stuff about Daniel Radcliffe on the set being drunk all the time. I'm thinking, not really liking that guy. Although he's since made up for it. He's been in a lot of great movies since, actually. If you haven't seen it, Swiss Army Man. Shout out Swiss Army Man. Go watch that film.
Was a good one.
It'll blow your brains out with that movie. Anyhow.
All right. So how will upcoming filmmakers and others be able to watch commentaries and BTSs on movies without DVDs now that Netflix and other streaming services have invaded the market? I think you will always see commentaries, whether they're going to be on Netflix. Maybe not. But I feel like directors will find a way, whether it's a commentary track on iTunes that you start and watch the film with them. I feel like there are enough outlets now that you can find a way to do it without a DVD.
Or you can buy the DVD if you love the DVD. Buy the Criterion Collection if it's available, and they'll have plenty of stuff on it.
Well, I mean, a lot of people love Blu-ray. I mean, a lot of people love having a hard copy of it because at some point, sooner or later, your internet's going to go out for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever. And I always go back to my DVD collection, whether it be anime or actual movies, or even a TV show. And that's kind of where like I'll pick up. So I bought the 30th anniversary edition of Back to the Future. And it had like super new feet, you know what I mean, and like added time and blah blah blah. But I'll stick the commentary track and listen to Zemeckis and Spielberg and Michael J. Fox or whatever, and I'll listen to him talk just about what happened on the thing. Or
sooner or later, those streaming services are going to offer additional audio tracks.
Yeah,
I mean the technology can't be that hard, right? If they can do it on a DVD, you can do it streaming. So eventually, I'll bet you Netflix will probably eventually add a commentary one of these days.
Yeah. The world needs Superman. The world does
need Superman. Until then, there's Batman. What makes a great villain? Is it a good killer question. Like Michael Myers, or a psychopath like what his face of what is his name? Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lambs. And what's your favorite villain? Honestly, your favorite villain
right now is Thanos.
Thanos is good.
And the reason why is there's a small moment when you're watching that, and he's like, I gotta kill like 50% of everybody, and he's like, because resources.
Spoiler alert.
Oh yeah, spoiler alert. Whatever. I think everybody knows he wanted to kill 50% of the people, but if you didn't, I'm sorry.
Spoiled.
I just broke it right there. But there's a small part in the back of your head where you're like, okay, I see it. It's not great, but I see it. I don't, and there's that one moment where you relate with, even Lex Luthor has it, where there's a small part of him where he sees this, God in the sky, this guy that can fly, can't be injured by bullets, and only is damaged by this small green rock that came from his planet, that's a limited resource. And he's like, I gotta get rid of this guy because what if more of these guys show up? And so at the same point, you're like, well, what would happen if there were just legions of Supermen that came to your planet? You're conquered. It doesn't, you know what I mean? So there's a small part of you that goes like, I understand what he's doing. Not the way he's doing it, but I understand what he's doing. And that's the relatability to a villain sometimes makes the best villain.
I like the Joker from the Nolan Batman, the Batman Return, or Batman. What's the name of that one?
Batman Begins?
No, the second one. Batman. I'm embarrassing myself. My amnesia is going.
Batman Begins, Dark Knight.
Dark Knight. That's the one. Yeah, I like that Joker because he's so well acted. He's so and he's so creepily intimidating. And the Hans Zimmer score just sets your nerves on end. That's like slicing strings with a razor blade kind of sound. I think that's my favorite. As far as what a good villain is, it's the sense of danger when he's around. Like there's some villains like, oh crap, he's here. I don't know what's going to happen to the people around here.
Yeah.
Another good villain is like, again, going back to Game of Thrones, is like Cersei.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, that's a good one too. But there's always, like with Cersei around, you're always afraid someone's gonna die. Yeah. Something bad's gonna happen to one of these characters.
I like that. Lisa said the scene with Gamora and Thanos made me look at Thanos in a whole different way than from the comic book. I agree.
Now I have not read the comic books, so I don't know about that one. Hi, Akash.
Someone has said something and it went up too fast.
You only need to say hi once.
Yeah. Hey, Akash.
Zack Snyder or Nolan?
I think
really?
Ray Ash asked another question. Oh, it was the Inception one, the ending. Like, do you think Cobb was dreaming? I think, and what was the kind of like ending? I think it's create your own ending. Like it really is. Was he dreaming? That's for you to decide. Was he not dreaming? Like you never know if that kept spinning or if it landed. And I think that's kind of the actual point of the ending is hey, what do you think happened?
It is purposely left open, obviously, but it's like one of those things where you can't decide either way. The point is not to try to find an answer. The point is that's your answer. It's either one. It's what you make of it.
Oh, look, I have not seen The Expanse, but I've heard good things about it. But I also heard it got canceled.
Yeah, I was gonna watch that. It's on Amazon or Netflix, one of those two.
Guys, you misread. Sorry, it went up too far and I couldn't read it. So if you said it differently, you can always link it back in.
Nolan, please explain the poles. They are poles apart? Well, we got to explain the difference between Zack Snyder and Christopher Nolan.
Oh,
I think that's pretty obvious, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look, Zack Snyder had a good run in the very beginning of his career. He had made a lot of kind of cool, aesthetically cool movies. He got a little too enamored in the aesthetic. Now you also got to give Zack Snyder and Christopher Nolan actually work together a lot. In fact, I think Zack Snyder works with his brother a lot, Christopher Nolan's brother a lot. So they're not as different as you might think.
Jared Leto is the best Joker.
Sure.
That is awesome and your opinion, but I honestly, I grew up Jack Nicholson and Heath Ledger was the next one, and there's a part of me that thinks every one of them embodies some aspect of the Joker, but as it applied to that point in the comics, you had the Joker of Jack Nicholson, which was this weird psychopath that thought everything was a joke, even as he was killing things. You have Heath Ledger's Joker, who is just pure batshit fucking loco.
Heath Ledger is the embodiment of chaos.
Yeah, of chaos.
That's what his symbolism of.
And then you have Jared Leto, who is more kind of like
psychotic
and almost kind of like gangsterish, really. Like
juggalo. He's a juggalo.
Yeah.
Superhero movies are boring, made to sell toys. Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
you can go overboard with it.
Everything in moderation. And
here's one question I like. Is there any director now similar to Stanley Kubrick? All right, that's a great question. Okay, have you seen The Witch? Go watch The Witch. The Vitch, 2 V's, right? That is as close as you're going to get to Stanley Kubrick in a horror film, a low budget horror film. We'll definitely do a beat by beat on that, we'll do a story analysis on that. But that guy is really close. P.T. Anderson's kind of a little Kubrick-esque, but Kubrick is not easy to classify because he made all different genres, and his styles, varied considerably. So I don't, is there someone that has an output like Wes or like Kubrick? There are people out there. There definitely are. You couldn't say like there's one Kubrick that's coming out among others. So that was that. Let's see who directed it. I don't know who it was, but it's called The Witch. It came out, I think, 2016.
Well, you're on the list now. He said, I just want to be there on the list. Thanks. What do you think about undergraduate film school? Do you think it will prepare for young future filmmakers to work in the industry?
You want to try that one? You got to stab that one in the back?
I don't feel that that's the case.
Yeah.
In today's society experience, just going out and making something and seeing what works for you and what doesn't work for you, I would say that film schools do give you a base for grouping, like for a group or
networking
support system, network of people, like that definitely kind of helps. But honestly, if you're looking for people, if you're doing casting calls, or if you're just making friends in your area, I'm sure there's groups around. That's just as good for networking.
Let me throw in one little caveat too.
Go for it.
Look into community colleges, because community colleges are starting to become really good options for a lot of people. I do a lot of work with a community college, both as a contractor. I also volunteer at a community college playing music. We're actually doing a concert tonight, which is why I'm kind of underdressed a little bit today. But community colleges, they're not too expensive. They can offer a lot of the hands-on equipment, the kind of equipment skills. Good place to network, because community colleges also have performing arts programs. Get involved with theater there. So community college might not be a bad choice. If you're looking at larger colleges or like these private schools, like wholesale. I'm not sure about that. If you're going to head in that direction, you probably want to go for a prestigious school like NYU, UCLA with the USC. If you get the USC, that's a good place because that's a really, again, people coming out of USC probably they also have to intern, so it's not easy. But those are better choices than some of these kind of grab your cash and go places like, I won't say it again. Yeah. But yeah, that's a loaded question. It's a hard question. It's a question you have to ask for yourself, and everyone's answer is going to be different on that one.
Yeah.
So best of luck out there on that.
Let's see. What about the Dunkirk direction?
What about the Dunkirk direction? What about the Dunkirk?
I never saw it, actually. So.
I saw it in the big IMAX with 70 millimeter either on my birthday or near my birthday. It was good. It's not a movie that's gonna like resonate in my heart forever because the actual incident doesn't really resonate that much in our American memory. It was kind of a throwback a little bit to Nolan and the Memento, which is another movie we should probably do a beat by beat on.
Yeah.
Because that one's more fascinating as far
Memento was a great movie.
Yeah, Memento was very good. Because Memento, you related to the characters. The problem with Dunkirk is it was so fractured, it couldn't really attach yourself to anybody.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have that emotional crush.
Brandon said there are many superhero movies being made now. In the 80s, it was action. In the 50s, sci-fi. Before that was westerns. What is a genre you would like and/or suspect to see making a comeback? And why? I feel like the westerns, honestly, will be making a comeback.
You think westerns gonna come back?
Yeah, because I feel like you kind of get into that.
You have Westworld.
Yeah, I mean, you have Westworld kind of showing up.
Not really a western,
but it's not really western. It's
sci-fi.
Past that now. It's more sci-fi. But I think westerns kind of have their day of pulling back or are coming back. I kind of feel like that's the next thing like that.
Well, like the thing about westerns is they have a funny way of showing up in other genres.
Mm-hmm.
Like Death Wish is a western. Like there's a lot of modern movies that are urban westerns, basically. The western, geez, I don't know if that's. Maybe it could. You could have an old throwback western set in the West.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of other ones.
I don't know. I feel like Clint Eastwood and all that stuff kind of made his popularity through westerns.
Mm-hmm. But I like to see kind of comeback of the more just straight comedies.
Like how we were talking about Super Troopers.
Yeah, so we saw Super Troopers 2. We went to see Super Troopers 2, and we both being fans of the original Super Troopers. The Super Troopers 2 has this feeling that it's made in the 80s and 90s. They just made comedies. They weren't too gross. Not that there's anything wrong with gross out humor, but it's kind of silly, funny comedies. And that's a genre that I think would be nice to get some comeback. And not everything has to be The Bachelor or the Bachelor Party or whatever. I forget.
Oh, Hangover.
Hangover was the one. Bridesmaids. Not everything has to be Bridesmaids or Ghostbusters, the female version.
And Avi, as for Fortnite, as I said earlier, I play Fortnite on Twitch. John is not super big fan of Fortnite.
We can talk about it if we want.
Yeah.
I'm not a very good gamer. That's the problem. And the thing with the Battle Royale games, you have to be pretty good at the beginning or else you just...
Yeah, exactly. And we were talking about this more so of the idea that the Fortnite games, Battle Royale genre, is very quick paced, very fast, and Fortnite is all about building, which is something that is kind of a new aspect to learn at times. But
the ironic thing about the Battle Royale is it's not necessarily quick paced. You can sit there and camp for about 7 minutes. You can just do nothing and hide.
Yeah.
Right. And then you can actually get pretty high ranking by doing that, but that's boring.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing is, like when I play it on Twitch, I charge everybody, and so there's a lot of death. I die a lot.
Well, unless when you're playing on Twitch, you actually you have a community you can hang out with.
And
Well, I'm sitting there at home by myself, like watching whatever comes on at 1 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
It's not a little bit more boring.
Exactly. What do you think about prison movies? Shawshank. Yeah, we love Shawshank.
Joe, do you like gladiator movies?
Do I like gladiator movies? Yeah, I do.
No, it's the airplane quote.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know.
Do you like prison movies?
do you like toast? What?
So, like The Longest Yard. What else? What other prison movies are?
Oh, there was a remake too, because there was the original one, and then with Burt Reynolds, and then there was the
Adam Sandler. Yeah.
Which, some people like the Burt Reynolds more.
There's a Cool Hand Luke, which I haven't seen yet. I need to watch that movie. Cool Hand Luke. What other prison movies can you think of? Well, there's Orange is the New Black, which is a show.
Yeah, which is a show. There's always there was Prison Break, which was
Prison Break.
Then there was that one with Stallone and Schwarzenegger.
Ironically, the movie
breaking out of a.
Ironically, the movie Prisoners, not a prison movie.
Not a prison movie.
It's weird. Anyhow, all right, that's enough on that tangent.
I think kills are better.
Is Lord of the Rings trilogy the best world building example?
Understandable.
Or the real one, GOT.
Gaming can tell stories better than movies. Yeah, but it's like
different story.
Time. It's the amount of time that can be put into a gaming world versus what can be put into a movie. You can have 20 hours of a story in like say a Resident Evil game, and versus like an hour in a Resident Evil movie.
Or you could have 20 hours of a Resident Evil TV show.
Yep, that's true.
So there's that. And of course, gaming too. You're actively involved in the game, so it's different. You're reaching into the story rather than having a story told to you. It's a little different.
Oz. Oh yeah, there was that
Oz. Yeah. So there's that great. What was that great? Do you remember what show? Oh, that was from. I think that was from Arrested Development, where he said he's always. Oh yeah, it's from the joke from Arrested Development. He says, "I was always terrified of prison when I learned that the TV show Oz wasn't about Dorothy."
Yeah.
It shows this little kid. He's like got a Tin Man hat on. He's like watching the TV, going, "Oh my." Anyhow, horrible.
What is the worth of independent movie festivals? Again, networking. Kind of showing a kind of a celebration of, hey, I finished it, I guess.
Yeah.
In a way, getting to get away from maybe your house and go like, hey, look, this is my finished product. Watch it, and at the same time being able to network with other people who are like, hey, I also finished stuff.
It's a party, man.
Yeah, I need a party, and
it's a total party.
It's a way to blow off like the stress of making this film. Like you were able to finish it, and now you get to enjoy showing it off and getting to party and somewhere and getting to talk to other people that are like-minded. Like you guys are all asking us questions, these kinds of things.
Yeah, it's like imagine doing this at 1 a.m. in Vegas at a shop that's getting ready to close, and you're just sitting there talking about all your war stories about your films. That's kind of like that's the best experiences of film festivals and the parties. My favorite one was the Vegas one because Vegas is already a party city, so it was like party on top of party. Anyhow,
do you think AI is a threat to filmmakers? No.
Well, it is. In some ways, okay. In some because I've been working a lot recently with these Photoshop actions that can create this concept art kind of thing, and it does a pretty darn good job of creating these sketch-like things that look like sketches, things that look like concept art from photos. And I'm wondering, I'm worrying myself, is this kind of replacing some artists' jobs? Like, are we, because the AI is incredibly complicated, and it does a very good job. In that case, maybe AI is kind of like getting rid of certain kind of positions. I mean, granted, no, we're not going to go watch an AI-made movie in our lifetime. Probably not. I hope not. But yeah, mostly. You gotta remember, AI's. Let's put it this way: be the guy that controls the AI. That's real. That job will never go away. As long, I don't think the decisions can be completely given to an AI. At least not in the foreseeable future.
Yeah. Let's see. Jesse, well, awesome that you're in Vegas. Yeah, we tend to go there.
We gotta go back there. I haven't been there in a while.
Let's see. Someone said something. What is the most unique way to develop a character? You just think them. And honestly, you just sit there and kind of think about what their flaws are and what their ambitions are. And hey, it can be you. That's fine.
I keep cutting to myself.
Yeah, you keep cutting to yourself. It's all right. But yeah, when we sit there, especially when we're thinking of a character, it's kind of like, well, where do we want them to go? What's like the flaw that they have, and then we just kind of talk it out of the person. And the character kind of develops from that. Like, oh, well, you know, he's unemployed and he's kind of a little bit of a loser. It's like, okay, well, like how, like, okay, well, he's unemployed, so is he trying to get a job? Well, yes. So he's not really a loser. He's kind of hustling for that too. And you know, you start feeling out the character, and then it's like something funny and situation, and the character kind of develops from there.
Well, I'll kind of go with this. Like maybe the character development is best to show the character making choices and show the development in the way they make choices. So if you present them a situation like, okay, there's a $100 bill. Somebody left a $100 bill on the table as a tip, or no, here you go. He's having lunch with his friend, and his friend leaves. Like he leaves $100 as a tip. Now the guy thinks that service wasn't that great. I don't think that was worth $100. Well, your character. What does it say about your character if he takes a $100 bill, pockets it, and puts like a $10 bill on the table?
Yeah,
right. You know, that's a character trait. So that's how you show the character. Or he pulls out his wallet, puts another $100 bill on the table. You know, that shows another character trait. So develop a character by having them do stuff that's indicative of their character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wait, hold on. Brandon said, "Hey John, I know you like comedy.
Yeah, I wanted to go that one
for you.
Yeah, go for it.
How many steps does it take to put an elephant in the refrigerator?
How many steps does it take to put an elephant in the refrigerator? I'd say 4, because you gotta probably one step to cut up the elephant and then put it in the refrigerator. I wanted 4 steps.
4 steps. All right.
And we'll let the magic of the chat find out what the answer to that joke is in a little bit.
Let's see. Debo, thank you also for coming and hanging in. I know you said earlier that it looked professional, so awesome on that. Thank you for saying we look professional.
It's the illusion of filmmaking.
Yep.
Totally illusion.
Brandon said, unemployed, a little bit of a loser. This is me. Make a movie about me.
Maybe we will.
Maybe. Hey, you never know, right? But then you might be like, this seems too non-fictitious, and might try to sue us.
Yeah.
So we'll say, wink, it's not about you.
Boy, I like this question that Rayesh Vikas asked.
What's that?
How do franchise directors handle the pressure? They never answer this question seriously. Your thoughts? Holy moly! All right, I gotta say this. When now we're gonna talk about Star Wars. When J.J. Abrams made Force Awakens, people don't realize that was serious pressure. They say, well, he played it way too safe with The Force Awakens. It's just like, well, yeah, because he had the immense pressure of basically launching the entire franchise from the beginning, you know, from the start. That I don't know how you handle the pressure on that movie. Now, I will say this: when you're working at that level, you're not working alone. So you have a lot of bosses to answer to. You probably have a lot of underlings working with you. So it is not like you're shouldering all of this by yourself. However, yeah, I can't imagine the pressure. And I would welcome the pressure if Kevin Feige is watching this. Please, I could direct the next Ant-Man movie if you want me to. But yeah, the pressure must be insane. And you never hear, you have 1,000 fanboys on YouTube criticizing every one of those guys. And I can't imagine the kind of pressure they're under. Anything to add to that, Joe? Or?
No, I mean, it's one of those things of everybody has to deal with their pressure their own way. And I'm sure, hopefully, everybody kind of deals with their pressure. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, your pressure and my pressure. Well, we have pressure. We just go and
you deal with it.
We just deal. We go get some sushi. We chit chat about other stuff, and then kind of laugh and watch something, and then proceed to the next part. I mean, everybody has their own stress relief, but yeah. I mean, when you're dealing with, any kind of movie, I'm sure it's probably way more stressful, and you're worrying about what the shots and stuff like that.
Look, don't feel too bad for them because they are getting paid pretty well.
Paid a lot of money.
They're going to take a couple weeks in Cancun to kind of blow off the stress, and then come back.
And then come back.
It's a lot of work, but they're not doing bad. I like Brandon finally came back with the answer to that joke. You want to read it?
Go ahead and read it, actually.
3 steps. Put an elephant in the refrigerator. 1, open the door. 2, put the elephant in the refrigerator. 3, close the door. If you go to China, everybody will tell you that joke. That's cool. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I was almost there with 4, but I was going to chop up the elephant. Yeah. So I guess not.
Yours was what? Like this. Apparently, the elephant is still alive in the
refrigerator. Yeah, I guess so.
Yours was he was dead. Thank you.
The funny thing, even though we moderate the comments, they'll still show up on the board.
I know.
Oh well, whatever. That's cool. But yeah, behave yourself in chat. We're not going to be jerks, but don't be jerks to us. All right, what's next? Both of you guys have a Zen-like calm while talking. I love that. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, sometimes I get quiet because
he's trying to read the thing.
I'm trying to read it down.
Uh-oh, did I lose your camera? No, that's no bad.
Oh, hey, wait, what the heck? I'm frozen over there.
You're frozen over there. Okay. Well, that is weird. Oh, I'll bet you the camera's not working. All right.
Well, did you want to go fix it real fast?
Yeah, go fix it. Let's take a quick break. Go ahead and run one of those insert an ad and see what happens there. We never tried that before. All right. We'll be right back in a few seconds.
I don't know. It says ad insertion was successful.
All right, we're coming back here.
All right.
Hey.
Yeah.
Apparently Joe's camera is frozen and it won't come back.
And it won't come back. So
we're just gonna see Joe's doing his wide shot.
Gonna see me doing wide shot. All right.
But I still got my angle.
What do you think about movies directed by Woody Allen? Do you like the style? Yes, Midnight in Paris.
Yeah.
Is my favorite Woody Allen.
I'm a big Woody Allen fan, and I unfortunately I don't want to get too into the darker side of stuff with Woody Allen, but I still think he's probably a little bit misaligned on that. I don't want to get into it though, because we get into long discussions on that. But yeah, I do like Woody Allen. He is a weird guy though. Yep. I'll give you that. Very weird guy.
Do you guys do any impressions? I do Fat Albert.
Oh, I was pressing. I was going to push the angle to get you, but
but there's nothing now. It's just
I can do a little bit of a Mickey Mouse. But
should newer generation movies always use newer technology, even if the story doesn't need it?
Yes. Well, let's examine. Always use the technology to tell your story the best you can, and whether that means using the newest tech or using the oldest tech, whatever it does, whatever you need to do to get your movie to do.
Whatever you need to do it well.
So I'm going to go off on a little bit of tangent. So I watched the movie African Queen the other night. And I was watching it, and I was thinking, boy, all those people complaining about green screen should have watched this movie from 1960 something, 51, 50, 55, 50, 60s. The movie is full of rear projection and really, really obvious rear projection stuff. Thing is, they couldn't have taken a Technicolor camera out into the freaking Africa to shoot it because it's too dang heavy. Well, they did do a lot of location shooting, but a lot of it had to be done on rear projection. You just have to do what you have to do to get your story. Tell your story the best you can. Look, we're going to see movies. We're going to see fantasy. We're not going out to see documentaries. So, whatever you have to do to get your story across, even if it's a little fake, just tell good stories. That's all that matters. All right, back to Wide.
Yep. Hey, Nick, thank you for saying that you liked our videos. And
thank you.
Keep going. We will keep going. Let's see.
Guys, my question.
Oh,
What's your question, Rayesh?
His question was the newer technology.
Oh, yeah. Favorite Hitchcock movie?
Okay.
Go!
Psycho.
Psycho's, I'm a big fan of Vertigo, too.
Yeah.
Psycho was probably, well, yeah, I don't know. Between Vertigo and Psycho.
Yeah. I mean,
Have you seen?
I think
Psycho
so many...
is such an exciting movie.
Yeah.
Vertigo is more like a deeper, like longing movie. Like you can feel how much this guy wants us.
Rear Window is
good.
Also...
Yeah, I don't think Rear Window is as good as effective as Psycho.
North by Northwest.
Yeah, but I think Psycho is just so effective. It's just like there's so much. It was so visceral and like raw. Well, love to stay, but gotta go. Peace, Ender. Don't go killing no bugs.
Yep. Let's see. Would love to. Yeah, okay.
Oh shoot! I mentioned about Psycho. I should have put the spoiler alert.
Yeah.
You guys like that graphic I made, guys?
At this point, spoiler has already gone out. Do you like cliche movies? Everyone usually complains about cliche situations, but usually those kind of movies are the most popular ones. What do you think? Cliche always kind of has its niche in a way. Like, there's always going to be people that really enjoy cliche movies, and then there's people that don't. Again, it depends on how well they did it. I could watch 3 renditions of the same movie if they're really well done, and obviously they're not going to be the exact same. But even if they have the, I guess, like She's All That was a cliche that the ugly girl who winds up getting, like, the joke is that they're going to bring her to the prom, and then you find out that she's actually super hot.
That's all teen movies.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean,
that's almost
if it's done well.
Well, let me ask you.
I mean, we watched it through all the '90s and early 2000s.
Is cliche the same as genre? Like, because that's genre filmmaking. Genre filmmaking is like, okay, that's
a teen movie.
Teen movie genre. That's
the cliche
normal.
Is always that she's
yeah,
hot,
that's true.
Know what I mean? Like, they didn't make her, like, she wasn't ugly, and then they tried to make her hot, and she was still ugly, but then it worked out.
So I'll give you, like, an example of, like, some things, like, we were talking about stereotypes, right?
Yeah.
Remember we were having a conversation back with that 5 Stages of Beer?
Yeah.
He was talking about, like, if you have a character, let's say I introduced you a girl. She's blonde, dirty ash blonde hair. She comes in wearing, like, shorts, and she talks like an accent like this, like a valley girl. What's your immediate stereotype of her, right? I mean, I'm not being sexist here. I'm just saying your stereotype of her is like, okay, that's a valley girl. She's gonna be kind of silly and she's not very smart and all that. So that's gonna be the stereotype. So when you make these films, you have to kind of start off with these vague stereotype characters, and then maybe you can, like, change it. Maybe she turns out being she's like a rocket scientist or something else. She plays with your expectations. I'm not quite sure where I'm going with this. Other than I'm saying that stereotypes and cliche are kind of like a jumping off point from where if I have a character come on, he's twirling his mustache, that's the villain.
Yeah,
it's a shorthand way of saying, okay, this is what you expect from the story, and where you go from there, you can either be cliche and a mustache twirling thing, villain ties the heroine to the railroad tracks. Okay, that's cliche, but if he ends up being the good guy at the end, that's a subversion of expectation.
All right, so let's see. Rayesh said, should a director always be allowed to make his dream cut? No,
not usually a good idea.
So I'm gonna say no, but I'm not gonna go really into that one.
I can go a little bit into it.
Hollywood will be greenlighting more movies written and directed and starring women in the wake of a Me Too movement.
Sure, why not?
As a way of distancing itself from negative publicity, I would say I think we're going to start seeing more women just directing and leading in things, just more so for the fact that it's really this. So it's that time.
Yeah, it's about time.
And I think you're going to start seeing that. And it will either expand versus, again, if it's well written, it's done well, and the female that is cast is amazing, I think you'll see that thrive, and vice versa. If it's not, you'll see, like, Tomb Raider. Nobody knew that movie came out. I didn't even know it came out. It came out.
I know
in
it came
March.
out. Yeah.
It came out in March, but nobody like.
Well, because it wasn't very good.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right?
They kind of swept it under the rug.
If it's not, then it's going to be swept under the rug. And
well, here's the thing:
if it's good, you're going to see it promoted, and I think you'll see a lot more.
Here's the best thing, right? Because right now we're in a time where people are realizing, hey, you're not going to have. I think, and I'm hoping, you're not going to have people saying, well, we can't have a woman director do this because she's not the right demographic. We're getting rid of that mindset now. So now a woman director has to prove herself that she can direct that kind of movie that people want to, the people that want to put the big bucks into. I mean, I gotta be careful what I'm saying here, because a lot of female directors out there aren't creating these action-packed, superhero movies. Although some are, obviously.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman's a great example. So yeah. I think nowadays, with the Me Too movement, now we've kind of cleared off some of the say, and we've made the way for women to, if they can prove themselves in this field, which is still, you still have to prove yourself in the action, four-corner superhero action-packed movie genre, then you can have a career doing that. However, I think a lot of women filmmakers don't gravitate toward that. I mean, I don't myself. That's why I don't see that's why you don't see a lot of female, superhero directors on superhero movies, because there's not a lot of people with good past records. Now, of course, there's exceptions, obviously, but that's why. Anyhow, the point is, I'm trying not to make sure I don't get in trouble, is that everybody can make films. Okay, it doesn't matter what parts you have or what you think you are.
Exactly.
You can tell stories. Okay, it's not a male or female thing. However, our channel, we have a huge skew toward men. I love it when women come to the site and learn about the stuff and kind of get involved, because I believe that empowerment is knowledge is empowerment.
There you go.
And that's how you get empowered, is you build the knowledge. Like I'm going to go off on a dangerous topic, but I'm a big fan of the whole body image issues with Photoshop and no Photoshop. I believe the way to fix that is to teach young girls how to Photoshop, so they can Photoshop themselves and Photoshop their friends, and then they know how the pictures are made, and they understand, okay, this image is a fabrication, this image is a creation. All right. So I believe that kind of knowledge is power. So anyhow, that's my point. That's my soapbox. Dang it. I think, we're in a good time, I think, for everybody to come. However, let me just make one more point. Sorry, I'm going crazy here. But it's hard for everybody to make it in this business. Even a guy, it's hard for everybody. Let's not forget that. So it is harder for women. It's also hard for men too. It is just hard.
Okay. What did you think of Shape of Water?
I liked it. I like Shape of Water. I think Coco was the best movie of 2017. I don't think Shape of Water was, but of the list, probably pretty sure I would put that as the winner of the list that they had for the Oscars. But yeah, I liked it. And it's a good movie to watch for symbolism if you're looking for that.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oops,
Phantom Thread being the last Daniel Day-Lewis film.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah, I think
so. Phantom Thread was a pretty good movie. Daniel Day-Lewis gives a great performance in the movie. It's not the best movie. It's not like There Will Be Blood, but geez, it was a pretty good movie. I felt there's a romantic. I kind of felt for the romance. I remember writing that, and some of you on Facebook were saying, "Are you some sort of sadist here?" I can kind of see where the romance in that comes in, but it was a pretty good movie.
All right, what do you think about National Treasure? It was a long time ago, but it was a good
National
movie.
Treasure.
That's
Nick Cage.
Nick Cage, yeah.
All right. I haven't seen that one.
You haven't seen it?
Wow. No, not that one.
Well, that was actually decent. It was like a fun treasure hunt movie.
Okay. Let's go on a rant to get me more in hot water, right? I Feel Pretty might be up John's alley. I haven't seen it yet though. All right. Last Amy Schumer movie, Trainwreck, right? Trainwreck. I got talking about this because this is a movie. This is a good place to talk about characters making bad decisions and where a pet peeve of mine, right? So I contrast Trainwreck with 40-Year-Old Virgin. 40-Year-Old Virgin. The main character tries to get laid at the end, and ends up failing because back it up. And spoiler, right? 40-Year-Old Virgin. The guy Michael Scott tries to get laid, but then realizes he can't do it because he really loves the Kathleen character. So he made a choice to not be with someone else. He made a choice to be with her, and that's how the movie resolves. And that's the ending of the movie. Trainwreck. Amy Schumer's character tries to sleep with an underage guy, but then she would have gone through with it, but then his mom shows up and so the ending is undeserved in Trainwreck versus in 40-Year-Old Virgin. So that I'm not real. That left such a bad taste in my mouth that I'm not really sure I want to see Amy Schumer movies. I used to love Amy Schumer, but I don't know about that stuff anymore. That's where I'm at with that one.
All right.
Sorry, long rants. I'm going crazy. I'm nervous because I don't have an angle to cut to for Joe.
Yeah.
So you can't see me like being nervous about saying stuff online and getting in trouble for it.
Yeah, no. Let's see. Do you feel hurt when a poorly made work goes viral? No, not really.
I don't care.
Because it's one of those things of people enjoy what they enjoy, and what's going to go viral one day is not going to go viral another day, and it's always kind of that melding pot of just like the right person picking it up or seeing it or things like that. So
and just because you think it's poorly made doesn't mean it is poorly made. I mean, it just may not be your style. Like people don't like Twilight, but I don't think it's poorly made. It's not my cup of tea. That's all.
And Ray Nash, yes, you definitely deserve a high five.
Hey Max, like all right, buddy, you got into film school. Like like we talk about film school and like we kind of push people away from it. But if you're going to go and make the most of it and rock the film school, man.
Yeah, exactly, Max. I mean, you got accepted. Awesome. How are you going to get from the small country to the U.S.? Well, I mean,
how do you make a move?
Thor Ragnarok. He's a Aussie or is he a New Zealander? I think he's a New Zealander. And so.
Well, yeah, all of them are.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just a little bit of luck and just make as much stuff as you possibly can.
Yeah, definitely go out and make some good films, make as many good films as you can, and then try to make your roads out here and try to make networking. But I do want to, Brandon just asked what Joe's Twitch stream, I think he's typing it right now.
Yeah.
I will just tell you, it is The Wrongcast, and I think next week we're going to do a game.
Yeah, we're going to be doing
a game here.
We're going to do a game of Terraforming Mars. We'll be on this
over there.
Awesome set over there. And we'll be playing a board game. We try to do this once a month. We've taken a little bit of hiatus, but I really want to bring it back. It's me, John, Tim, and a revolving fourth cast.
It could be you.
It could be you.
If you lived here and want to hang out with us.
And the Roncast is also my Twitch, and I have a YouTube channel where I'm starting to do reviews. A podcast as well, but not this kind of podcast. It's just voice only. And maybe we'll see John on it.
And One Punch Man, thanks for hanging out.
One Punch Man, thank you so much for coming to hang out.
Good night, buddy. See you next time, Filmmaker
IQ. Exactly.
At filmmakeriq.com.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of our stuff is just having fun and stuff like that. And I hopefully you guys can see it when we make shorts. And when and when John tells the history of something, or when he now is going to be doing the beat by beat on Coco, and for some reason the name just eluded me.
Okay, so I'll just explain that
to
people that come in late here. Coco, we're going to do a video, basically analysis of story. We're going through the movie Coco beat by beat, which a beat is a point in the story where something happens. So we're going to go through the entire movie, every single beat, and try to figure out what exactly is happening here, how's the story come together, and what it means. And I chose Coco because, frankly, I haven't seen anyone do one on Coco yet, so I'm kind of excited to do that one. And I love that movie, so that's just me.
As for when we're going live next, we have been talking about whether or not we want to make this a 2 times a month.
Yeah.
Thing. And that would really depend on you guys. If you guys really enjoy that, just I don't know how we would say, like by liking this.
Yeah, like the video, show up, send us messages. I don't know. We're gonna try to do it at least once a month.
Yeah, I mean, we always do it at least once a month. But we really do enjoy getting to converse with you guys and just chat about whatever.
Not to fall on my own sword, but like one of the last videos I had, one guy complaining about, oh, I don't like these videos. Well, it's like, no, I think some people like. I think you guys have hopefully
this is for you guys
like hanging out with us.
Questions or hear about what we're doing or things like that.
And we can also change up the hours we do this too, as far as what time we do it. It doesn't always have to be on an afternoon. It could be for us an evening would work. We're not going to do mornings. I'm sorry, we're not going to get at 5 a.m. to do this.
If you guys aren't following the Twitter, do follow it. Do we have the link for that?
For Twitter?
I don't know.
Go to Twitter and look up Filmmaker IQ. It's in there.
That's where you'll see, like, there were, I think, been 4 or 5 posts. As we approach, the posts show up. You can also follow us on the Patreon if you want to throw us money. That would be awesome. We definitely appreciate.
And we're also doing we do have the option of doing a private chat session.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's where we actually will just one-on-one when we the idea the origin of this live thing was to kind of be able to help you guys with scripts. If you have a short script you wanted to submit to us and we could read it, we go over it with you guys. If you want us to watch a short film and we can give you some pointers or some talk about, like, maybe do this, maybe the lighting, help you with the lighting or color grading or whatever it is, that's the point of this. But as we've done the more of these, we found people like doing the Q&A. So anyhow,
well, thank you, Lucas. And
thank
Max.
You. And Max.
Yeah, we definitely enjoy sitting here and kind of getting to chat with you guys and see what your thoughts are on what we're doing, and also, kind of getting to kind of meet up with you guys. And I think that's one of the greatest things about this, is being able to sit here and have a conversation with you guys and ourselves, because obviously. So it's one of those things. And if you guys enjoy it, as I said, like this, and as we see more likes, we will be able to kind of gauge where we are. We will always at least do this once a month. Whether it turns to 2 will depend. And Rayesh, we do definitely appreciate your questions. Feel free to write ahead. You can also always send us on Twitter at filmmakeriq.
I think it's Filmmaker IQ.
Filmmaker IQ. And leave a question there. If we see them on there, we'll print them out and we will respond to them on the next one as well. And that way you don't forget one.
Yeah, we are doing the private ones. Are Brandon asking private chat sessions? That's for our certain tier level on Patreon. So check out Patreon as far as if you want to get involved with that. We still have to kind of coordinate all that among the people that contribute on that one.
Yeah. And yes, Brandon, as I said, we will kind of figure that out for because like you said, you have a script ideas. It could also be one of those things, you submit it, we check it out, and we chat about it here, or
now I will
on a private one, or what.
Correct Rayesh on this one thing. This is not a fedora.
Yeah, no, this is actually a Trilby.
Trilby.
Yes, because
we're going to get real specific.
I know we do have fedoras.
It's in my house, though.
Oh, it's at the house.
Yeah, it's at the house.
But yeah, this is just a Trilby. I feel bad because
we must get it correct.
Yeah, I couldn't get into the bathroom to do my hair. So it's.
So don't forget, we gotta get peanut butter for your grandpa.
Yeah, exactly.
Let it be known on chat forever. Now we need to get some peanut butter after
we need to get some peanut butter. Yeah, exactly. Favorite Stanley Kubrick movie for me is always gonna be. Dang it! Now I can't think of the name of it.
Dr. Strangelove.
You're
Dr. Strangelove. You're Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you type the spelling? Trilby.
Trilby.
Trilby is.
Like that? Trilby?
Yeah, I think that's how you spell Trilby.
I think it's like that. Anyway,
Trilby, yeah.
Yeah, so you guys will see that way before.
Before you hear us talking about it.
Rayesh, I appreciate it.
No, we appreciate that. Definitely. Comments on our appearance is
always enjoy compliments saying that we're, cute, I guess.
Well, I think that's...
Well, at least the Trilby is. I don't know if we are, but yeah, so Clockwork Orange, and
from India, he loves it.
Yeah, awesome.
All right, well,
but for some reason I couldn't think of Here's Johnny.
Jack Nicholson.
No, yeah, but the movie
Shining.
Yeah. For some reason I couldn't think of Shining. But yeah, those are my 2 favorites. But yeah, so I think we're kind of coming.
Yeah, I think we're winding down here. Let's give our shout outs to our Patreon. Make sure you check us out on Patreon. We do post other stuff there. Yep. We do behind the scenes. You can go see our video of me wearing the chicken suit again. We can make sure you save that video. And when I do run for president in 10 years, make sure you leak that to like E or somebody like that. It'll be embarrassing to me. So Patreon, check it out. Audible, go to audibletrial.com. I do read audiobooks, and I have another audiobook out. It's not by me, but it's by a guy named Paul Rockwell, who sounds suspiciously like me. And he reads this erotic novel called what's the name of that book? Passion Unscripted. So if you want to find another book on me, Passion Unscripted's out there, and also Sing Me Something Happy, which is a clean novel. So that's under my name. Check out Audible, right? There's always filmmakeriq.com. Go there. Let's reiterate. Next month, we're going to be offering merchandising. We'll kind of talk about more next month. It's the secret amongst all of us here. Don't tell anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm going to give the top leaderboard winner of this month, May, will receive a T-shirt. One of our T-shirts, which I'll model and wear next time we're on the show or on live.
Yep, and hopefully we'll have some.
More stuff.
So you guys can actually see.
Yeah, we'll get some.
We hit them over there.
We'll get some real stuff.
And President Belichick, thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoy the channel and have been watching for years. It's you guys that are watching that make this awesome, and you guys are super passionate about what John has been doing, what Filmmaker has been doing, and we just really appreciate it. And sadly we are winding down. Usually we only go for about an hour. We've actually been going for about an hour and 45 minutes.
42 minutes so far, yeah. And we have to get some peanut butter.
Yeah, we have to go get some
We really have to get some peanut butter.
And yes, Max, the Scarface remake is still happening. As far as I know.
I don't know. There's a lot of stuff happening that I don't know about. They don't tell me. They don't tell me these things.
And Ollie, thank you. I'm glad that it's been helping with your videos and your photography. But yes, Rayesh, we are, as I said, ending. But yeah, go, please check us out on Patreon. If you aren't following on Twitter, please follow that, because definitely we'll give you the next update on when we're doing the next Pubcast, as well as it will also...
You'll be on Patreon too.
Yeah, on the Patreon, it's going to be on Twitter. Obviously, we don't really spam the YouTube comment section thing that tells people.
No, every time I do something there, because I get yelled at.
Everybody's like, no! So we don't really send the comments through YouTube, because we're trying to be considerate of you guys' time. And
every time you put anything in that YouTube thing, it's like 10 people like, I can't believe this is not a video.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, I won't use it anymore.
But yeah, so we have been avoiding that. But as I said, best way to know what next video is coming out and when our next Pubcast is
as they say, keep watching the skies.
Keep watching the skies.
All right, folks.
And yes, I think the next thing will be
It'll be Coco. Will be coming. Coco will be next. I'm thinking about doing I've been working on this studio thing for a while now, and I need to actually finish it. Actually shoot it and wrap it up.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking dynamic range. A study on dynamic range might be another topic that we're going to dive into. And we have 2 more interviews that we have to cut.
Yep.
And put them out there for you guys. So lots of stuff coming out.
Lots of stuff coming that way.
FilmmakerIQ.com.
Yep. And again, just because we can't have been pushing a little bit the Patreon, and the reason is more so for the fact that we're trying to get to a point where we can take care of ourselves and also bring you guys more content and not have to worry about what we have to do outside of this to support this place and ourselves.
Yep.
So it feels like we're pandering, but we are, because we need your guys.
We're on our knees, folks.
We're on our knees begging, and as I said, if we get our next tier, pies in the face.
Pies. I think that's definitely going to be a thing.
I think it's going to be a thing.
All right, thanks guys for watching.
Right.
Keep watching the skies. Oops, that's not the button.
Who knows what lies in the hearts of evil men? Only the shadow knows.